Here you go.
Okay, so we've got a few ancients that we've buffed.
Few.
Yeah, the internal changelog for this is like 13 pages.
It's 19 actually.
19 pages.
Yes.
So we've give her the longest tooltip in the game, which is this new bark skin move, which is replacing her thorn shield. So you can cast it 3 times, and every time you cast it, you get a new effect. So the first one is pretty much thorn shield. You take less damage, you reflect damage. Second cast, all the healing you take is doubled, and that's some paladin and her own heal on the ultimate. And her third cast is also a heal, where if your troop goes to critical health, they just get a little health injection. We added Kindle. Kindle was really cool. It's like it makes your troops prioritize certain buildings, a bit like Admiral Lee's battle orders. But it wasn't enough. That was Kindle, and so a lot of people didn't necessarily get on with Bloodpire, but we've doubled down on Bloodpire being his thing. So if you don't like Bloodpire, you probably won't like New Golgog, but he is now all about the Bloodpire. So her new level 3, which is replacing Puppeteer, is called Ridicule, and what this does is it's a nuke that hits quite a big area, about the same as Coup de Grace from Isave, and it does double damage if it hits something that's poisoned, frozen, burning, basically any debuff she can't do herself. So if you steal Hagar's freeze, you can then freeze some buildings and then cast Ridicule on it to do a ton of damage. So what we've done is we've changed Space Rift, so now it just dispels debuffs. So it still doesn't rewind debuffs or mess around with that, it's just health and position. But there's a one-time dispel, so as you return, if you were frozen, you're now unfrozen. And if you were frozen before, then we don't mind.
Okay.
We just say whatever. That should be useful. That instantly puts her into the meta game because you can dispel things, which is nice. So even if you don't have one of the more ludicrous entrants like Sulric, who's got a dispel, you can get access to one. So yeah, she gets more starting mana. It's you'll see lots of little mana icons in her upgrade tree, and we've also changed her ultimate. So her big thing is that she's just about damage, and without the mana to cast Conductive Blast, she's a bit weak. So we've kind of made Conductive Blast better, to kind of emphasize that about her, but also give her some more mana so she can actually cast it. Because at the moment you're pretty much you're forced to drink a pot, and if you drink a pot, you can usually drink a pot on another ancient who gives you a more assurance of victory than on Adhera. So now when you hit a building, it's the blast is AoE, so it destroys nearby walls. It only hits walls, but the ultimate will now just rip walls to shreds as you're hitting all the buildings. But the problem with casting Wolfpack all the time is it's really mana intensive. And we don't want to remove that from him. We don't want it to annihilate it completely, because that's kind of his thing. But we're making it so while you're inside Wolfpack, you get extra mana from troop portals. So if you see a base with some nice tasty troop portals outside, like that base I had in Takemi, which I've then swapped inside,
Yes.
you can get lots of bonus mana, and then you're it's kind of as if you didn't cast Wolfpack, because after you've killed 1.5, you've made up the cost. And then we've also changed Bloodthirst. It now hits extremely hard. Before it was really undertuned for a nuke, and so now it's it kind of be it's a little bit weaker than Narax's. I think the numbers here might not be what goes live. It'll be a bit weaker than Death, so it won't one shot everything, but it will definitely do a lot more than it does at the moment. It's really undertuned on what's live. So what we've done is we purposely set her numbers quite conservative, and now we've gone and just made them less conservative.
Yes.
So she basically just hits a lot harder with her spells. She is a little bit weak according to her stats, so we've done a little bit of a kind of quality of life change with her Flame Tongue. So now it does bonus damage when attacking walls, so she can get inside the base and then start hitting the nice chewy center and getting some mana, and then she can start summoning mana hunters and flame hexing stuff. Flame hex is really strong because of all the mana splashing around, and the stalkers, the elementals just max out completely really fast. So yeah, she should be I don't want to go too crazy, but yeah, we've buffed her wall damage just to let her get inside the base. Yagumo's thing is all his spells kind of interact. So you cast a big wind vortex, and then you cast Gale Cut, and it hits multiple times. Lots of people enjoyed him in the event, but his numbers were quite low, and a lot of the feedback on the survey we did, even though this was ages ago, was that he was really strong, he was really fun. No, sorry, he was really fun, but they wouldn't use him because he was a bit weaker compared to other options. And to be fair, back then the other options were a bit more ridiculous. But yeah, what we've done is we've taken Snake's Blood that has no interaction with his other abilities, and now Snake's Blood will just give you extra damage mitigation inside the big vortex. So you cast level 3, and when your troops go inside, you cast Snake's Blood, or you can do it the way around, and then they get extra physical protection inside the base. So now every time you recast Plague, it resets the duration. So effectively it means once you plague something, as long as you're destroying buildings, it will never just randomly drop. So it's a kind of, I think this is going to be really, really strong, considering it makes all the buildings do 50% less damage while it's up. So we're going to do this and let it rock and see what happens before we give her any more buffs. Except we made it so her level 2 gives her 2 more undead. But yeah, we're being quite conservative with her because we think the plague might be a bit strong. We'll see what happens. And that's all the ancients.
Yay! People are asking about nerfs, but
there are no nerfs.
There's not a single nerf in this.